become. This is what I am.
What is arguably Marlon Brando's most famous scene gives us a moment to digress from the wedding ceremony to make a point about doves and pigeons.
Hey, I got one of your birds!
Pigeons are seen throughout on the waterfront as symbols of the conflicts Marlon Brando's character is facing. The point is, the doves that are so important to weddings are almost always really
Pigeons and doves are close relatives. The terms are almost interchangeable, but releasing doves into the wild at certain cultural ceremonies and things has become, in certain cultures, an important thing.
Even though it might actually be a pigeon.
Well, again, pigeons and doves almost interchangeable. If you want it to be symbolic of something beautiful and peace and freedom, then you probably don't want to associate it with the pigeon that's groveling around for the French fry you dropped on a city street, but, they're all the same kind of bird.
With that in mind, we return to the wedding of Sepideh and Hamid Roshan with the understanding that every white bird we see is going to be called a dove.
I give you permission to kiss your beautiful new wife.
Remember what was said earlier about the significance of a couple seeing a pair of white doves on their wedding day? This is where David Corral becomes part of the story.
Oh my God.
It's about 33 miles as the crow flies from the site of the wedding at Rancho Palos Verdes to where the dove man at East Los Angeles lives with his flock. What's important to David is that his birds can find their way home on their own from wherever they are released.
When you let them go now, most people, what they do is they get them and they throw them up. You don't have to throw a bird up. All you have to do is just open your hands and he launches. There we go. How's that?
Beautiful.
David is a craftsman who specializes in tile and mosaic work.
His name is Mancha.
But his personal passion has always been his birds, and they led him to start White Dove SoCal. Weddings are a big part of his business, but funerals and memorial services are always very meaningful.
I go to Baptist services, I go to Armenian Apostolic, I go to a variety of Buddhist, and there's always that energy. People come to celebrate a life, and you feel all that positive energy. So no matter what the prayers are in, and what language, and what culture, you walk away with the comfort. You walk away with energy. I come home with that. I come home gratified.
That thought brings us back to how the birds find their way home, no matter where or when they're released, the first time and every time.
In essence, they use a whole bunch of different environmental cues, both as sort of a map to know the lay of the land and a compass to know direction. They've even been hypothesized to have like olfactory maps. They can kind of smell different parts of the environment, maybe even detect the Earth's magnetic field and use differences in different parts of the landscape and the magnetic field to find their way around. So they have lots of different cues they can use.
David says his connection to his birds is as strong or stronger than the bond between humans and their cats and dogs. One of his favorite pigeons is named Cojo.
Last night, Cojo, I've been wondering, this guy hasn't been coming home. He's been looking for a girlfriend. So last night at 2 in the morning, I heard noise. I went out there, and there was Cojo with his new girlfriend. You see what I'm saying? They're just like Fido. Sure. When they don't come home, you know who's there, who's not.
Come on, I better get you home. There's too many guys around here with only one thing in their mind.
Kimball Garrett tells us that just about every animal has the innate, inborn ability to find their way home. The one exception, a woman, will tell you that it's a man driving a car.